Welcome in. It's time for another edition of the Morning Espresso here on the SDH Network. I'm Jason Longshore, and this is brought to you, as always, by our friends at Oglethorpe University, Atlanta's premier undergraduate learning experience and soccer powerhouse. It's going to be an all Premier League Europa League final with a Champions League spot on the line for next season, as well as a trophy and a nice check for winning the Europa League. Manchester United and Tottenham Hotspur both handled things in the second leg after big first leg wins, and they will face one another in one of the potentially most lucrative matches in the history of the game. The slot in the Champions League next season could end up being worth over $130 million. It could mean the future of Ange Postecoglu at Tottenham Hotspur. Does he stay if they win? I think probably he has to, right? He says he always wins something in his second year. Well, he just might. If not, he's probably not going to be back in London. Ruben Amorim, I think, will be back, but if he's going to be able to add some of the players that he would like to, they've got to be in the Champions League with Manchester United. If they're not, I don't think they're going to have the financial, strength to be able to do this. So very interesting, very pressure packed, and a very lucrative Europa League final ahead. MLS yesterday released the updated roster profiles of its 30 teams, reflecting all the moves made as of the close of the primary transfer window. Atlanta has $1.2 million in general allocation money available. Minnesota has the most available right now with over 4 million. Six other teams have more than 2 million. Atlanta's in the upper half of what the rankings are in terms of having GAM left. The defending champion LA Galaxy, Charlotte, and Toronto have $0 of general allocation money. GAM's most important use is to buy down a player's salary budget charge to reduce the amount it counts towards the salary cap. Essentially, it extends your salary cap. So Atlanta has a decent amount available as well as cap space after the trade of Sean De Silva. So they can go out into the summer window and make some moves. And Garth Lagerwey told us on our pregame show last week, multiple moves could be available to them to add pieces as they go, and they might need to. We'll come back to MLS in just a second. Let's go to La Liga. The huge game on Sunday, 10:15 Eastern Time, Barcelona hosting Real Madrid. A win in the Clasico could pretty much settle it for Barcelona. Real Madrid is 4 points back, 4 games left. It wouldn't mathematically do it, but it would essentially do it for Barcelona. Hansi Flick's team has beaten Real Madrid 3 times this season, 4-0 in the league, 5-2 in the Spanish Supercopa final, and 3-2 in the Copa del Rey final. A Madrid win would really open the door again. They would be 1 point back. Two of Barcelona's final 3 games are against teams in the Champions League places, Villarreal at home and Athletic Club de Bilbao away. Madrid, the best team that they play that's left after this one is 10th placed Mallorca. Lamine Yamal is a player that we'll be talking about a lot with this one. He has been very good in these 3 Clásicos, 2 goals and 2 assists. 17 years old. He has set up 21 goals in all competitions for Barcelona this season and scored 14 himself. What a year for the 17-year-old Lamine Yamal. A lot of eyes will be on Kylian Mbappe as well. He has a chance to win the Golden Boot in Spain in his first season with Real Madrid. Going to be a fascinating one. 10:15 Eastern Time, Sunday morning, Barcelona and Real Madrid. There's also reports out of both Germany and Spain that Xabi Alonso could be even potentially talked about today as the new manager of Real Madrid, because there's reports out of Germany that he will announce that he will leave Leverkusen potentially in his press conference today. Spanish reports say that he's agreed to a 3-year contract with Real Madrid to take over from Carlo Ancelotti, and previous reports had Leverkusen lining up Eric Ten Hag as Alonso's replacement. In the Premier League, it's down to the race to secure the final 4 Champions League qualification spots. Arsenal pretty much has one of them, but third to seventh is very, very interesting. Arsenal, Manchester City, Newcastle, Chelsea, Nottingham Forest, Aston Villa, all in contention. Arsenal's pretty much got it. City to Villa are separated by 4 points. That's third to seventh. Biggest game this weekend sees fourth place Newcastle host fifth place Chelsea on Sunday. both on 63 points. Both are one below Manchester City, two clear of sixth place Nottingham Forest. They are at home to already relegated Leicester on Sunday, so Nottingham Forest can put some pressure on the teams ahead of them. Big game in Portugal as well on Saturday. It's going to be in Lisbon at the Estadio da Luz. It is Benfica and it is Sporting. The eternal rivals are meeting here. It gets really interesting because they're both on the same number of points. If there is a winner, they will essentially claim the title in this game, even with one round to go. Both teams are on 78 points, 2 games left. Goal difference doesn't matter here. It comes down to head to head. So whoever wins will have the tiebreaker. If it's a draw, then next weekend, the last weekend of the season, will be fascinating with a lot of scoreboard watching. MLS this weekend, it starts with Atlanta at Chicago at Soldier Field, 2:40 kickoff. Pregame coverage for us starts at 1:30 on 92.9 The Game and the Odyssey app with Abe Gordon and Madison Cruz in the Midtown Atlanta studios. Mike Conti and I will take over from Soldier Field ahead of the 2:40 kickoff. Next game on the docket is Minnesota hosting Miami. The Loons are second in the West. Miami's fourth in the East, 3 points back, but they do have a game in hand. Then 7:30, it gets interesting. Top of the table clash. Second place Philly hosts first place Columbus. Daniel Gazdag returning to Chester, PA. Cincinnati, third place in the East. They host Austin. Sixth place in the East, Nashville hosts fifth placed Charlotte. Both teams won in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup in the midweek. Sunday night soccer is a great one. Supporter Shield leading Vancouver, hosting LAFC at BC Place. LAFC got the word this week that they will be playing Club America in a playoff game to get into the Club World Cup. That's got to give them a boost. They've also been really good since getting knocked out by Inter Miami in CONCACAF. They're unbeaten in their last 4 MLS games. Denny Boanga has scored 4 goals in those 4 games and has 2 assists. Nathan Ordaz, David Martinez have both been very good as well. Vancouver, LAFC, Sunday Night Soccer at 7 o'clock on Apple TV MLS Season Pass. A couple other things for you before we go. Long throw ins, they're cool again. You're starting to see more and more of them. I'm seeing them at the lower levels. You're seeing them at the higher levels as well. A long throw is one that goes at least 35 yards for classification purposes. In the 2019-2020 season, Pep Guardiola was dominant, the possession-based style, ball at feet, dominant in England. Attacking throws lobbed into the penalty area dropped to just 8%. This season, it's 17%. Wednesday's Champions League semifinal, for example, PSG Arsenal, Thomas Partey, no fewer than 11 throws launched into the PSG box. It's the record for any game since Mikel Arteta took over. It's becoming a weapon. You're seeing more teams find a specialist for it, and you're seeing attacking set piece designed plays in these situations. You're seeing coaches work on them. I'm seeing it a lot at the high school level this season, for example. You're seeing it a lot in lower divisions because it can be a game changer. Long throw-ins, they're cool again. Rory Delap was ahead of the times. If you missed it last night, go back and look at the highlights in the Copa Libertadores of Barcelona of Ecuador hosting River Plate. And yes, I'm going to remind you once again about the brilliance of Sir Second Alexander Castle, Segundo Castillo, the manager for Barcelona. Dude broke out a leopard print tuxedo for this match. He keeps one-upping himself. I don't know where else he can go with this because every time, every big game, he is showing out. Now, it didn't work this time. They lost 3-2 to River. They're in third place in the group with 2 games to play. They still got an opportunity to get to the knockout rounds. I don't know what Segundo is going to break out next time around, but they've got 2 more Libertadores games left at least, and people are waiting to see what the outfit's going to look like. In girls high school soccer last night on the network, we had the 3A semifinals, 2 good games. Jefferson with a win at home. They beat Cherokee Bluff, and Whitewater fell to Oconee County. So 2 teams that know one another very well in the 3A girls final. In the other classifications, Buford will play Walton in 6A. In 5A, Northgate will play Roswell. Roswell and Buford both trying to stay undefeated for the season. In 4A, it's Marist and Blessed Trinity. 2A, Pike County and Savannah Arts. 1A D1, Bremen and Model will meet in the final. And in the private section is going to be Lovett and Greater Atlanta Christian. All those start next week. A bunch of us from the SDH Network will be on the calls on the NFHS Network. Boys semifinals tonight. John Nelson will be at Johns Creek High School as Johns Creek hosts Sprayberry for our last game of the season on the SDH Network. We've done over 30 games all over the state of Georgia this year. Thank you to all the athletic directors, all the head coaches, all the players who have liked and shared our content. It's been a great season for high school soccer in the state of Georgia, and we're down to the final few games of it. Thank you to our friends at Kaiser Permanente as well for sponsoring our coverage of Georgia high school soccer. And thank you to our friends at Oglethorpe University for sponsoring the Morning Espresso. We'll be back on Monday to break down everything from the weekend. Y'all have a good one.